Let me show you the way to make the best corned beef hash you've ever tasted. Hey, it's British Cook. Today I'm doing Sunday Savers. I'm going to do a really cheap, easy to prepare meal that you can share with your family or friends or your loved one, whoever. It's so easy to do, really cheap, under £5, and it feeds 4 to 6 people. How cool is that? I'm going to show you a really quick and simple way to make corned beef hash. In fact, I'm going to show you 2 ways to make corned beef hash. Don't forget, I'll be doing one Sunday Savers week and one Wednesday weight loss. So if either of those interest you, hit that red subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. See you later, British Cook. Ingredients: 2 large potatoes. They weigh 800 grams. I'll put the cup sizes up now. 2 onions. They weigh 450 grams. Reduced salt corned beef. You can use normal corned beef, but I prefer it with reduced salt, and we're going to be adding some seasoning to it anyway. That's 340 grams of corned beef. As I said, I'm making 2 different versions of this, so depending on which version, different condiments. And 200 grams of mature or medium cheddar. English mustard, Worcester sauce, or as they like to say in America, Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce. Mushroom ketchup by Gia Watkins. If you can't get this, don't worry too much. It's just something I really like with beef. It gives it a lovely flavour. If you're in the UK, you can get this in a lot of shops. So, first of all, cube up your corned beef. I've done mine quite large. They do tend to fall to pieces a little bit when you fry them. Get a bowl. 1 tablespoon of mushroom ketchup, if you can get your hands on it in the UK. Really worth trying. 1 tablespoon of Worcester sauce. And 3 teaspoons of English mustard. Nice big ones. Give that a quick mix together. Grab your corned beef and just pop it in there. Now, I know that doesn't look that great, but it tastes so good. Give it a quick stir around so it's all coated, and then we're nearly ready to go. For the potatoes, you want ideally a waxy potato if you can, but generally speaking, any potato will work with this. So traditionally, they would come cubed in a corned beef hash, but I'm going to grate mine, and I'll show you why in a minute. Onions. And with the onions, just really roughly chop them. Different shapes, different sizes. It's all going to be good. Frying pan on a nice medium heat. Bit of oil and a little bit of butter. Let that get up to a good heat. Give it a stir. Now, I don't know how old corned beef hash is, but I know my dad, who's quite old, not that old, but quite old, he used to eat it. And I know that he said that his dad used to eat it as well, which would be my grandfather, who would be... My grandfather would be probably about 110 now if he was still here. So it's quite an old dish, quite a traditional one, really simple to make at home, really tasty, brilliant when you try to save a few quid as well. Once they start to soften up and change colour, just pour in about half a cup of water. Give it a stir, then turn the heat down. Potato, grated. Check out my spoons. Look at that, American measurements, almost. 1 tablespoon of Worcester sauce into the potatoes. A good bit of pepper. There's something special about the smell of fried onions. I don't know why, I absolutely love the smell of them. Really enjoy the taste as well. So there they are in a bowl separate. So in the frying pan, just pop a little bit of extra oil if you've not got any left, and chuck that all in there. It's got a nice big flat surface area, and turn it on a medium heat. Probably take about 10 or 15 minutes to cook. Start it off on a reasonably high heat and then just keep moving the potato around. Potatoes started to brown up quite nicely. You can pop back in the onions from earlier. Lovely and caramelised. Can you see where I'm going with this? Then it's time for the main event. Let's get that in there. The best thing about cooking is how many people it feeds and how cheap it is. I mean, the taste is absolutely brilliant. It's much nicer than you might think it would be. It's a sort of classic combination. And I expect other people with different ways of doing this, but this is how I do it, and I want to show you when it turns out how good it is. So often when you're cooking, you would maybe do the meat first, but with corned beef, because it's so fragile, because it falls to pieces so easily, and because you want to keep those big nice chunks in there, we put it in last of all. so it spreads through everything else you've already cooked. You just give it a gentle sort of finish off, but you wait to see what I'm going to do in a second. So traditionally you can serve it straight from the pan like this, but remember what I said? 2 ways of doing it. Welcome to the bread pan. 200 grams of cheese has gone on the bottom of that, and guess what we're going to do? We're going to pick up this and put this in here, and then we're going to chuck it in the oven at about 210 degrees, and we're going to bake it for about 15 minutes. So just pop that into the oven at about 200 degrees Celsius. So obviously I put it in the oven with the cheese. As you can see, it's still bubbling away there. The fat from the cheese will cook this even further, make it lovely and crunchy, and the cheese on top, well, you wait till you see that. Now just look at that. There's enough there to feed 4 or 6 people with some sides really easily. The melted cheese all over that beef, the mustard, the onion, caramelised, and the fried potato. It is so good and so cheap to make.